大家好，歡迎嚟到新一集嘅呢個相聚一刻。咁我哋今日咧 ，again we have Danny Khursigara again, and so love interview you.
Thank you.
Because I can take advantage of you. No, just kidding. So last time we talked about like a big part of it. We talked about relationship, and then we touch a little part of like success, personal success, business success. So we can continue with that. Like, how do you make yourself successful? I think it's more interesting to know you, as you said, because we have a workshop on the table that we are going to deliver it on 26th of April. And you said you did it 4 times. And then usually you did 1 time in a year. So in such a global economy, how do you become even more successful than before? And then it seems to me like you can create or manifest anything you want.
I think it's one thing to understand about how do you end victimhood.
Oh,
okay.
This is a big part.
So how do you end your victimhood? So unless you end your victimhood, you can't have a new energetic template to work upon. What does that mean? It means because most people are right now romancing the past and not romancing the future. Right?
Okay.
So what we are doing, removing barriers to success, it includes overcoming guilt, resentment, fear, self-doubt, judgment, all those kind of things. All those things are actually historical. Mm-hmm. You feel guilty about something in the past. You feel resentful about something that happened in the past. You feel fearful about a past experience creating a fear of the future. You have self-doubt based on an experience of the past. So basically, people who are stuck in this removing barriers to success are actually living their life in a rear view mirror. Rear view mirror, you're always looking back. Mm-hmm. So what we teach in this workshop is how to stop romanticizing the past and start romanticizing the future. How to start disconnecting from the past and start connecting with your future.
How do we do that? How do you
We're going to join the workshop for that. So that's what we want to teach, so that people are not always prisoners of the past. Otherwise, you will lead your entire life being a prisoner of the past. And how do I know that? The person sits with me, and the first thing he says, "Oh, you don't know my parents. Oh. My father did this, and my mother did that. When I was 10 years old, my father did this to me." And I said, "Forget about it now. It's gone. It's done. You are the person you are today because of some of these difficult experiences." Yeah. But they keep holding on to it because they need someone to blame for their suffering. So it's either the mom, the dad, the brother or sister, the ex-boyfriend, the kid or someone. But they need someone to justify their suffering.
I do have students like this.
Well, understand? So you got to understand this. Everyone needs someone to justify their suffering. But
it's never ending.
Well, that's what we teach. That's what we teach. It is ending. That's the end of victimhood. But when you understand that the only person who's responsible for creating the future you desire is you, then that's the end of victimhood. Now, the past is in the past, you've learned from it, and now you're creating a future that you want to create. But as long as you're a prisoner of the past, you cannot create a future that you're destined to create. It's difficult. You understand? I'm giving you something very concise. So what we teach here is how to get rid of it. Now, highly evolved people, they don't need to go into the past. They can just transcend and get into the future, which is a very high level of enlightenment or evolution.
I guess most people cannot do that.
No, cannot. Which is why we kind of do help people overcome their barriers to success, which is guilt, resentment, fear of uncertainty, failure, rejection, self-doubt, which is big, imposter syndrome, that's another big one. Yeah, imposter syndrome or judgment. And once they get over that, then you have more capacity, more energy to do things. So it's very important. That's the end of victimhood. As long as you remain a victim of life, it's going to be difficult for you to create the future you want. Full stop. You can argue for the whole night. But if you want to end victimhood, you've got to get rid of this so that you have a clear future. Otherwise, you'll always have someone to blame. my mom or dad, and many people say, oh, my dad, this. I said, where is your dad? Oh, he died 15 years ago. Oh, but you're still talking about your father right
yesterday.
now. Yeah, yesterday, exactly. So you can see why they are stuck, because they're holding on to a belief that is no longer true today. So this is what we kind of help people. So once can you just imagine, in 3 or 4 hours, you can overcome all this crap or whatever, so that in the next 2 or 3 hours of that day, you can create and design the future you want. Is that worth investing 8 hours of your day?
Of course. I've been trying to turn my radio station into a business with a team, and then I just find that, I cannot do that. Nobody ever succeed in doing such thing. So I can run the workshop or the training business to make money. But when it comes to the things that I really, really love, even I find it hard, I'm quite good at manifestation, but still when it comes to my dream, which is like the interview we're doing now, and I just find that after 12 years, I'm still like putting in money. And I'm trying to persuade myself, like, it's okay, you love your work, and then I'm doing some, contribution. But it's really nice to do something I love and then make money at the same time, instead of like doing what I really love and then doing the side business, like selling programs.
Yeah.
And I love going to workshop and I love delivering workshop. But when it comes to the things I really love, it's interview. And then I see that, there are a lot of YouTubers in the United States. They can, they can do it. But when it comes to me, I feel like I cannot do that. I cannot believe that I actually feel that way. Like, I cannot do that. But I just find, like, what's my problem? I'm taking advantage of him again. Like, what should I change? Can you give me some tips, like how I can change my mind so I can, do the things I really love?
So do you believe that you are a part or an extension of universal consciousness, whether you call it God or universe or whatever you believe in? Do you believe that?
I actually do. I do.
You are a part of it. You believe you are a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So when you, pray, or when you, speak to the universe or God or Buddha or whatever your thing is, do you think that angels, archangels, ascended masters, they sit there and thinking about, where is the next money coming from? Where is my relationship going to happen? Where is my next job coming? Do you think they're sitting in self-doubt, fear, guilt, and resentment?
They don't, and I do.
So you understand. So if you believe, and if you say that I'm an extension of divinity, you know that they don't even think about these things because they are operating at a higher level. And if you think that you are an extension of that, isn't it just common sense that what you're focusing on, which is guilt, resentment, not feeling good, or all of that, is absolutely nonsense? Did you understand my question?
I have to digest a little. Yes.
Do you believe that you are part of universal consciousness? Yes or no?
That's what I do. Yes.
Yes, you do. So, universal consciousness, do you think that universal consciousness, which means, people you are praying to, or you go to temples, or you go to churches and whoever, do you think those divine beings are every day thinking about, when is my next job coming? When is my next money coming? When is my relationship happening? Or what if I fall sick? Do you think they're worrying about this every day?
No way.
No way.
No way.
So if you believe that you are part of that, then what you're thinking right now, they're not thinking. So technically, what you're thinking is absolutely untrue. It's factually untrue. It's not truth. Do you understand? So if you're saying that I am not separate from that.
Oh, so I'm separate from them, actually. The real core problem.
You just told me that you are extension of universal consciousness. Then either you're saying you are, or you're saying you're not.
Yeah.
You're teaching energy. So energy is all one, correct? Would you believe that universe is one? So after the existence of a physical body, right? So today we are in a physical body, so it's you and me. But once we're out of our physical body, are we one?
Yeah.
Everyone's one. Everything is one, correct? You agree with that? You agree? Does everybody agree? Okay. So if we agree that at a global universal consciousness level, we are all one.
Yeah.
So our existence on planet Earth is just an extension of that oneness.
Oh, okay.
So when you are at a non-physical plane means when you're at a soul level. So let's say Christ consciousness, if those are Christians or any other religion, or whoever. So they are not sitting there at that level worrying about poverty or fear and, where is my relationship going to happen? There are no men or women in the world. They're not worrying about that.
No.
Why are they not worrying about it? Because
you're abundant, have everything.
exactly. And if you say that you are an extension of that, you are the same.
Oh.
Then you are all powerful even as you are a human being. If you believe that you are an extension of them, why is there a difference? There's no difference. It's exactly the same. The only difference is that you're in a physical body, but you're still that same consciousness, which is what's happening on this planet right now. It's an elevation of consciousness. So you now understand that what non-physical is, and I am the same thing. I have just adopted or acquired these beliefs that there is guilt and resentment and fear and shame and poverty and all that. You've just adopted that. They don't think that. Are you with me?
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised. Like in my past, when I was working in the business world, the investment world, I don't have that kind of thinking. I don't have that kind of thought. When it comes to what I really, really love to do, like now, I have so much limiting belief, but recently there are some little changes. I actually pray to God again, which I didn't pray for a long time. And I prayed to God and I said, God, please help me, because I really love doing interview. I so enjoy it. I spend a lot of money and I really love that. So can you help me? So if there is one thing I would do for the rest of my life, that's interview. And things started to change a little. Like last week, I was so busy helping our common friends, San, to deliver his workshop. And I did 7 interviews and released in 7 evenings. And I started to worry a bit, like, oh my God, I'm helping him. How about my own workshop and my own business? And then I just start to see like, oh, my seminar actually attracts clients, which are students, on its own. This is really interesting because in the past, I feel like I have to work hard to, do enrollments. I was thinking like, is it because of my prayer? Or is it because I don't worry at all? And then I was so busy doing other things. So that's my real business, my core business is going much smoother than it used to be.
Yeah. So the answer is there's a difference between manufactured manifestation and surrendered manifestation. Oh. So what you were doing is what you were trying to manufacture manifestation by doing this marketing and pushing.
Can you remind us again what is the factory manifestation and then the other one?
The manufactured manifestation is the forcing and efforting and kind of doing and trying to use your mental mind to do things.
Oh, yes.
Surrendered manifestation is what you did. And he said, look, I love doing interviews and I'm surrendering to the universe because the universe and me are one. I'm just surrendering and seeing where the path is. I'm just going to do what I love. And suddenly people were joining your class. So there was no efforting there. That's what I'm saying. So instead of manufacturing something, you surrender to something. This is precisely what I've been saying for the last 30 minutes. So it's how you are, if you understand or believe that I am part of universal consciousness, then you will live your life in a surrendered manifestation, period. That's going to be your default setting. So every morning you're in surrendered manifestation. What do I want to create? You have an intention, it comes. You have the desire, it shows up. But what happens is when you're saying, there's no man out there, my friends are saying this, now you're creating resistance in that whole manifestation process. You understand?
Yeah,
it's a distortion. So when the signal is clean, you can hear the sound very easily, but when there's distortion, you can't hear it. It takes a while for you to hear the sound. That's what's manufactured versus surrender. You get what I'm saying?
Not exactly.
Okay, want me to repeat it?
My mind is, yeah, sure.
So, in your example, I'm taking your example, okay? That you prayed and you said, I want this, and suddenly people came in the interview.
Effortlessly.
Effortlessly, all right? That's a very good word. So, surrendered manifestation brings effortless success. Exactly. So it came to you effortlessly. Did you do anything on the other side with the business where people started enrolling in your business?
Not much.
Not much. So when you surrendered, which means you did not try to do anything, which was you're not manufacturing something, you're not using your mind to sacrifice or make an effort and work hard, things just happened, which means that you are now aligning to universal consciousness. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah? Otherwise it would not have happened. Versus before that, you were saying that people are not joining my course. I need to do more marketing. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to go here. I need to do this. And why is not something happening? And all my friends are telling me you should have a boyfriend and you should have a relationship. And why is that not happening? That's resistance. That's a manufactured manifestation. So when you let go of the efforting, have a clear intention, and allow the universe to bring it to you, it just comes. So it's the easy way. You want the more difficult way.
No, but I think I did.
Yeah, but now you've got real life proof that when you just focused on doing these interviews, you got 7 interviews and you got people joining your course.
Yes. I have to remember this because from time to time I forgot. Like when I look at the numbers, like, only this kind of number enrolled. Like, I got to do something.
Yes.
Whenever I feel like I should squeeze it a little or I should do some more, the numbers stop there.
Let me give you an example to what you're saying. All right. When I started this course, this particular one, this is just one of the courses I run. So the first time I did this was in 2018 or 19. That's the first time. And I was very excited, and I kind of was going on, advertising it, and I was paying money to advertising and getting this course out, and everyone's going to come. So I had this free webinar, and many people came, and I was so happy. Wow. Okay? Guess how many people registered, actually came for the webinar? 1. All right.
I was trying to say 10.
No, so 1 person only joined. So I had about 40 to 80 people who came for my free masterclass. I did 2 or 3. But the actual person, for the first time I did this webinar, only 1 person came. Okay? So just 2 days before, I was thinking, why the hell am I doing a 5-week program for 1 person?
No point.
No point. All right? So in my meditation, I asked this question, should I, a yes or a no, should I do it or should I not do it? And I got an astounding Y-E-S-S with 2 exclamation marks in my thing, all right? I trust intuition blindly. I don't question it. Once I have a vision, I don't question it, all right?
Wow.
That moment I decided I'm going to do this, all right?
Okay.
So I did it for this 1 person for 5 weeks, okay? That person had some major transformation.
Yeah.
And I got 7 to 8 corporate clients from that
him
person.
Or her.
I made 15 times more money than I would have made from 50 people attending that course. You see? So with surrendered manifestation is about knowing, why am I doing this? I'm doing this work to give value. So whether I'm giving value to 1 person or 50 people, it should not make a difference to me. So when I got this yes, I just followed it. And every time I was saying, oh my God, I'm doing it for 1 person, I'm doing it for 1 person. And after the 5th week, I knew why I was doing it. And I got major clientele just from working with this 1 person. Major clientele. Like names like Salvatore Ferragamo. Those kind, like big deals I got just from working with this 1 person. So
that's very encouraging.
So I cannot see. So if you use your brain will tell you not to do it. Correct?
Yeah.
You're wasting your time. You're just getting so much little money. You're doing it for 5 weeks. What's the point for 1 person?
Yeah.
But consciousness or energy works differently. Universal consciousness just do this. It's just this person needs this work. She needs your help. She needs your help. Whether it's 1 person or 50 people, doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to you, because if it matters to you, then you're allowing your ego to come in the middle. So if you put your ego aside and just help this 1 person, and this 1 person converted into, like, I was shocked. In 3 weeks, I had a very happy business. So you understand what I'm saying? That's a surrendered manifestation. So you got to trust the process.
This is so interesting.
Yes. So, removing barriers to success is all about how you stop being a prisoner of the past.
Or victim, you said.
Or a victim of the past, and start designing and becoming a conscious creator of your future. That's the best part of it right now.
Yeah, I remember now. Like when I was in the investment world, I never worry about like business or no business. I just go to work and I just went to work and then have fun.
But you were getting a salary, right?
No, I didn't.
So if you're doing a job, why would you not get
a commission?
A commission, okay.
So no salary, no any packaging. But even though I was like broke that time, I never worry.
Yeah.
And then every time I just go to see my clients and and have fun, and then explaining to them about the investment. If they buy it, they buy it. If they don't, I'm fine. But then I'm doing better and better and better, and make tons of money. But yeah, and I forgot. So now every time I worry, money stops. Especially when I'm also a spiritual teacher at a certain extent. Like when I worry, nothing comes.
Yeah. So that is worry is asking for something you don't want.
Yeah. Or I don't believe. Does it really take a lot of belief to create something? Like, is it okay? Like, if I doubt a little, and I can still manifest things? Can we?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Just like we sometimes make a big deal about it, but if you would not make a big deal about it, like it's the choice, like I said in the beginning, like what am I going to wear today in the morning? What am I going to eat today? Those are easy choices for you, right?
Yeah.
If you would, with that kind of level of consciousness where there's no friction, you don't go, let me explain to you another way. You don't go to a restaurant and you look at the menu and then you call the waiter and say, I'll have some dim sum and xiaolong bao. And then the waiter goes and he says, hey, wait, 1 minute. I think, no, I think I'll have the rice and I'll have the goose. And he writes that. No, wait. I think so if you give an order like that, will the waiter find it simple or complex?
Complex.
This is what we do.
Of course.
But if we say, this is what we want, this is what we want, this is what we want, and then you put the menu away, between the time you give an order and the food comes, are you waiting? What are the guys doing in the kitchen? Should I go and check?
No,
you don't.
You don't.
Because you know with 100% certainty that food is coming. Exactly. And the food comes and you have a good time. But when it comes to business or relationships, number one, we don't give a clear order. Number two, when we give the order, we stop, when is it coming? We are impatient, we are doubting or second guessing, so we don't even enjoy the manifestation that comes. I'm just trying to give you an analogy.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But if you would just use the same analogy, that I would love to experience this food, you give it to the waiter, you have a good time, you enjoy, you have a drink. When the divine timing is, the food comes on the table and have fun. If you use that analogy into everything you do in life, you're going to have a very different a wonderful life experience.
But how about to you? I love that. I love all that. And I totally agree. But when it comes, I'm sure in your life, it's not all smooth, right?
Of course, but then you learn from that. But that's the whole point. You're right. Of course, there was many struggles I went through. But the point is that you learn from that struggle and you grow. You learn from that struggle and you grow. You learn from the struggle and you grow. So you don't make that same thing again and again.
But do you sometimes, like, you also can lost your faith when things are really not going your way?
Correct, I did.
And then what would you do? Will you like, oh, that doesn't work?
Surrender.
How?
Surrender.
Is it like when you said you're creating the first workshop of this, and then there only one person came, and then you surrender to the universe, like, I believe.
Because I got a clear message, yes, Y-E-S-S.
Yeah.
So I follow my intuition. If I'd followed my brain,
then you would stop it.
I would have just made an excuse, oh, sorry, I'm not well, and I would have cut the workshop. What's the point? If I'd used my head, and that's my ego. Oh, you're going to do a workshop for one person? Really? And that was the thing. But when you work with a higher level of consciousness, because I did not know that by helping one person, I was going to get 8 more abundant corporations working with me. I didn't know that. But you got to trust the process. That's surrender. So you surrender. Okay, I'm going to do the best I can, and let's see what happens. Now, if I had not done it, I would have probably lost all this abundance that was coming to me. You get what I'm saying? Understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm digesting.
Yeah.
I keep listening to you and then thinking my own situation and then thinking about my friend's situation.
Yeah. Forget your friend's situation. Think about just you.
I don't know what I should conquer. Like, I don't know. Should we have a big picture? Like for me, I think I should have a picture. Like if I want to keep doing my radio station, and I should have vision. Do you have a vision for yourself? Like where do you want to go?
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Right now, I can only think of in the YouTube world. I really love a guy called Lewis Howell.
Oh, the guy from House of...
the big guy, the football player, I think.
Yeah.
Former. And I really love his show. Very plain, like interviewing successful people, and he's like really focused on relationships, health, and then a lot of money. I love to do that. So I thought, okay, this is where I want to go. Now I have this picture, but of course I want to serve the Chinese world, Chinese people more because I'm Chinese.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Okay, so great. So what's holding you back?
I don't know how.
Well, aren't you doing this? Aren't you talking to me right now in front of a camera? That's what Lewis does. He runs...
He got 4 million subscribers in YouTube. I got only 20.
Well, you're just starting. you're so it's fine.
So I think now I come up with the second question. Like, I always compare myself with other YouTubers. And I've been working hard for like 6 years. And then I got 20,000 in Hong Kong. Like, people say, oh, that's fine.
I don't have 20,000. I don't have.
But you're successful in other ways.
Well, but,
like you're a corporate trainer, you're so successful.
So that's I don't have 20,000 followers on YouTube, but I hardly do YouTube.
But then I find.
But my belief is different. My belief is that I don't have to be on YouTube to be successful.
Yeah.
But that's a belief. So you don't have to be Lewis Howell to be successful. So you said, okay, if Lewis gets to 4 million, I need to get 4 million to be successful. That's probably, the fact that you're inspired by what he's doing is fantastic, but now comparing to him and you is futile, because comparison is the thief of joy. It takes the joy away from you.
I think maybe at a certain extent I love torturing myself.
I think so. I agree with you.
I hate you. No, I don't hate you. So very often I always check what the other YouTubers doing. Like, oh, this guy have only like 700 videos, and then he got like 200,000 subscribers. Oh my God, I'm such a loser. And I do that all the time. Like really torturing myself, comparing myself to the US YouTubers. And I thought,
let me ask you a question. Would you like to have 1 million followers who are liking, but you're not making any money from them, versus having 1,000 followers and all of them are your clients?
That one.
Of course. That's the model I follow. Why do I want 1 million people when I don't even know those people? If they're following, fine, great. But the quality is quality over quantity. But if I have 1,000 people and those 1,000 people are my clients, I'm an abundant man. I don't need those 1 million. So you're
I guess I just like playing with numbers too much. Like I was in investment. So I always like look at the numbers and then do the comparing. Am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right track? And you are so right. I do know other people who's doing YouTube, like they have less than 10,000 subscribers, and then they're making like 10 millions of Hong Kong dollars a year, and I always forgot it. So I either compare myself in the number of income or compare myself with the number of subscriptions. They're also like self-torturing.
Yeah, some people on YouTube, like some people I know quite well, they've got a very large following, but then they run a business on YouTube. So, they probably give advice or do podcasts or whatever, and then they say, if you want a private session with me, go to this link. They put that on YouTube. They do sometimes. Some of them do very, very well.
Yeah, yes.
So it depends on the model you want to have. If you want to use YouTube as a way to source clients, that's a different way. You can use YouTube as a way to advertise yourself or market yourself, not necessarily sell something. You can do that as well. So first, you need to be clear. Why do you want to be on social media, and what's your system that you want to follow? Because if you look at many people, not everyone is there to sell something. They're there to create awareness. But some of them have big followings, and if you just go down, they say, hey, if you want to have a private session with me,
How many people do that?
That's fantastic, I think. Yeah, many people. So it depends on what you want to do, and you can do either ways.
I actually did pray to God sometimes ago, and I said, how come I have only 20,000 subscriptions, and while the other people, they were doing like only 1 year, and then they have like over 100,000? So you don't love me, or you love them more than you love me?
So what did he or she say? Was he laughing or?
Yeah, he said, you cannot afford it. So if you if I cannot enjoy the 20,000, when it comes to 100,000, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of work. And when it comes to 1 million subscriptions, there are tons, the workload and then the attention, because I don't like attention. Being a YouTuber, I don't like attention. Like sometimes when I walk down the street and then meet bump into some of my fans, and they say, "Oh, Esther, I'm not your fan. I'm your friends," and I feel embarrassed, and I feel like I don't know what to say to them. So I think that's the thing, like hinder me from enjoying my work. Like, oh, they know me, so it's embarrassing. Am I doing the right thing? Do they like me or they don't like me? What are they going to say? So that's why God said you don't enjoy your work. So if you have more subscribers, that will give me more pressure. And that's so true to me.
So then be grateful for not having more subscribers. Yes?
You're so mean.
No, it's a fact.
You're right.
So you have to kind of in some way accept who you are and what you want.
So then all of a sudden I understand why I have only 20,000 after I felt like I work a lot.
You have more subscribers than me. You'd be happy with that. Yeah. I've never got a client from, as far as I know.
YouTube?
From, YouTube.
Facebook?
Or I don't. It's
IG?
like for fun. I get clients from very different places, and some people don't even know me. LinkedIn, I've got about maybe 5,000-6,000 followers on that. But
that's a lot.
Well, you're crying about 20,000, but the whole point I'm trying to say is, if you focus on the quality, that always will triumph any quantity you want, in my opinion. Now, I know some people have. It also depends on the business model. If your business model is about consumers. Then I can understand you want volume. I can understand that. Like, your whole business model is about consumer market and how you want to grow that. So it makes sense for you to do that. But it depends. In 20,000 followers, you can make a very successful business. 20,000 multiplied by what? 1,000? That's already
2 million.
Yeah. So no, 20,000 into would be to 20 million.
Really?
20,000 into 1,000 is 20 million, right?
Yeah, I just lost the number.
So what I'm just trying to say is that you comparing with others who they've got 6 million and I've got 20,000 is, in my opinion, like, you can also get there, but if that comparison is making you feel disappointed, it's not worth spending time on it. If it's inspiring you, like when you looked at Louis Howell, he runs this House of Greatness.
Yeah, House of.
And if you
School of Greatness.
Yeah, so if you get inspired by it, that's a great thing. But that part of disappointment is probably not something I would recommend or suggest. Okay?
Okay.
Awesome.
So I'm going to speak in Cantonese. Okay. 好啦，咁我哋咧嚟緊咧喺呢個4月26號咧就會咧 Danny 咧就會咧 deliver 一個 workshop 嘅，叫做消除達成成功之障礙嘅 ，OK？ 咁我哋咧就會係嗱啲資料咧，我哋就會擺喺 YouTube 嗰度，咁大家 click 就得㗎啦 ，OK？ 咁到時咧係一個1 day workshop 啦，咁然後我係會幫大家去做呢個翻譯嘅，所以大家唔使擔心就Danny he speaks English and then I don't understand English， 咁你唔使擔心你係唔識聽英文嘅，因為我係一個專業嘅呢個翻譯員嚟嘅 ，OK？So thank you so much. I really have no intention to take advantage of you and solve my own problems. I don't. You believe that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. I really enjoy my time, talking to you, chatting with you, and then you just give me a lot of inspiration and then remind me so much of the things I know but I forgot, and then stuck in my own little mind.
We all do that, no worries.
OK， 好，咁我哋咧就4月26號見大家啊。OK，it's time to say goodbye now.
Bye, and thank you. See you at the workshop.